Antarctica may not have the lush landscapes of the tropics, but though icy, this continent is far from barren. I am standing in front of a colony of chin-strap penguins, one of the penguin species that can be found in the sub-Antarctic islands. It took us about 2 days of sailing from Ushuaia, Argentina, on board the Ocean Atlantic before we reached the tip of the Antarctic Peninsula. We visited the icy continent in November 2019 with Dynasty Travel and Albatross Expeditions. It was the austral summer then, but it was still cold, windy, and covered in ice. Still, the region was not as barren as we thought it might be.
It's definitely not true that it's a barren desert. The Arctic Oceans and Antarctic Oceans are very rich in food, and it is because it's cold. The colder water contains more oxygen, and around the ice there's a lot of plankton, and the krill, that is key species, have a very, very large biomass here, and very many seabirds, sea mammals are making a living of krill. Around 40, 50, 60 degrees south, we have an ocean going all the way around Antarctica. I call it the capital of seabirds because you have so many different species, such huge population as well. If you're looking at the penguins, they have waterproof feathers and ability to find their way in the oceans. They are not only well adapted to dive for a long time and they can live for months out at sea, but they are also very well adapted to go on land and breed. And like the emperor penguin, they go to Antarctica to spend the winter in very extreme climatic conditions. They have a short summer where they can breed. They will go out at sea in flocks and they will find food resources and bring it back to the young on land.
The penguins have unique features that help them thrive in the cold, harsh climates. But with climate change, heat is encroaching into their spaces, causing some penguins to march south.
We're seeing movements in some penguin species. Those that rely on the sea ice are beginning to suffer habitat loss. There's the emperor penguin, because the sea ice is breaking up earlier in the spring and the summer. Also, we're seeing an expansion in the range of those penguins that prefer or are better adapted to living in warmer climates, such as the Gen 2. We're seeing gradually the Gen 2s taking over some of the places on the peninsula that were traditionally the home to the Adelie penguin that's moving further south because it's better adapted to colder places.
Antarctica could not be more different from Singapore. Yet, the fates of both regions are closely intertwined. The good news is that nations are working to reduce the harshest impacts of climate change. The question is, will these efforts be enough?